Hey everybody, today is April 26th and today we're going to look at the price of Bitcoin and we're going to see if this correction is over or whether or not this thing might roll over and continue down more. Before we begin, please read this disclaimer and you can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so last week we talked about how Bitcoin had this pretty sizable correction. So far, the maximum bottom has been just over 27% drawdown, although over the weekend, yesterday we had this nice bullishing engulfing candle. Seeing the price significantly push up higher, even though we basically been correcting now pretty much all week last week. And in our previous videos, I talked about how since this breakout began back in October of last year, we've seen the price of Bitcoin stay above this silver line, which is our short-term moving average, the 50-day simple moving average, right? Either stay above this line or when it comes down, it basically bounces off of it, finding strong support right over here and over here. In our previous videos, I talked about how Bitcoin came down here and we closed above this line, and I wanted to see us hold, but unfortunately, we weren't able to hold above, and we basically went down lower. I talked about how our second line of defense is this gold line, which is our midterm moving average, our midterm support level, which is the 100-day simple moving average. And all last week, we saw the price come down below, but we closed above, and unfortunately, we closed over the weekend below this line. I wanted us to hold this over the weekend. I said this past weekend was very critical because we needed to hold above this line. Otherwise, the probability of us closing lower is a lot higher, right? Even though we have our Fibonacci resistance support level over here at 47,000, I still wanted us to hold above this line. And fortunately, we saw a nice bounce yesterday, a bullishing engulfing candle over here. And this, it looks a lot similar to this candle, right? Where we had it kind of dripped down lower, but then we had a bullishing engulfing candle, and then this led the price to go up higher, right? And also somewhat similar to here, right? We had 4 red days, but then we had this bullishing engulfing candle right on this Fibonacci support level over here, and very similar to here, right? Coming down, not necessarily closing below the Fibonacci support level, but above it, and then a nice bounce above over here and over here. So if we do follow like something similar to this or to this price action, we might actually see this price kind of roll over a little bit, maybe as we hit this 50-day simple moving average resistance level. Once support now flipped to resistance as the price broke below, and then but eventually we might see this thing eventually break above, maybe retest on one more time before we go a lot higher, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to, and hopefully we're able to find support above this 100-day simple moving average line. Otherwise, our next line of defense is this Fibonacci support level, which we actually came down to over the weekend. You can see that we came very close over here to breaking below, but we actually held, right? And this Fibonacci levels, along with these moving averages, have been strong support historically with Bitcoin, right? We've talked about this multiple times in previous videos. When we come down here, we found support, strong support off this Fibonacci support level back in late December. Fibonacci levels also act as resistance level, like we did here as well in late December, before we eventually broke above and made this strong impulse move higher, right, all the way up to $42,000. Another strong support level over here, our first major correction of this year in late January, and also support found over here. And right now we're finding strong support over here with a strong bounce follow-up, which is very bullish. Now, of course, like I said, we're coming close to this 50-day simple moving average, and so what I want to see is either pull back a little bit and then push up higher, or a strong break above and perhaps come down, retest, move sideways a little bit before we push up even higher to all-time highs, right? Keep in mind that I've been saying that in previous videos that this month is going to probably be a red month, and this is something that I said last month in March, how I wanted to see a red month either in April or in May, because we've had 6 consecutive green months in a row, right? I mean, we haven't had 6 consecutive green monthly candles since 2013, right? So for me, I feel more relaxed now that if we are able to close this month red, I think that's going to be very bullish for the price action going forward. I think that this is going to give, because we need a shakeout month where we shake out the weak hands, right? Because even in the most bullish years, like in 2017, we still had red monthly candles, right? At least like here, 3 in 2017, right? In January, March, and September 2017, and in 2013 we had 3 as well. So in May, June, and December of 2013. Of course, in December, this one led into a bear market, but we're nowhere near a bear market, in my opinion. We still have more momentum to move to the upside, and I think that right now having a red monthly candle is actually a good thing because it's giving Bitcoin time to rest and shake out some of the weak hands and allow people an opportunity, if they didn't get in down here, to perhaps buy while the price dips and moves sideways for a while. So this could be a good reaccumulation area. If you, like myself, I actually did, full disclosure, I did buy some more Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency altcoins when it did below 50,000 this weekend. Of course, just because I bought doesn't mean that you should buy. You should always do your own research, right? This is not financial advice. This could perhaps roll over, but as you look right now, the price is actually recovering very strong, right? A strong bounce that's pretty much wiped out the last 3 days of losses. So this is usually a very bullish sign that this can continue higher, and that's what I expect. I expect this to have been the bottom and to continue higher. But just in case, let's go over some of the risk factors, right? Again, if you look at this chart, it does seem parabolic, right? So we can't discount that. It's possible, like in 2013, right here, that we might have two monthly red candles in a row before moving higher, right? Whereas in 2017, we never had two consecutive red monthly candles. We only had one once in a while, which is basically a correction of letting the price kind of recover for a while before pushing up higher, to rest for a while before pushing up higher. So it is possible that we might roll over and come down more, but I do think that this Fibonacci level and this midterm simple moving average, when these things come together, they tend to act as strong support, right? We have confluences like we had here, where we had the 50-day and the Fibonacci support level here coming together, acting as strong confluence of support levels. Same thing here with the 100-day, our midterm moving average, and the Fibonacci level here. So I do think that in the short to medium term, obviously in the long term, I think Bitcoin this year can go over 100,000. I've been saying that many times in my previous videos. But the question is, what is the journey to get there? How many corrections are we going to have? And of course, it's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to go straight up, right? So we're going to have corrections, and you have to be prepared for that, especially if you're using leverage. So a lot of people got wiped out using leverage over the past 2 weeks, but right now it seems like it could be a good time to perhaps buy back in, right? But yeah, positive news today. JP Morgan lets clients invest in Bitcoin fund for the first time. And this is very interesting because Bitcoin has been basically trashed by Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, pretty much multiple times over the last 10 years, right? I mean, he said that if you buy Bitcoin, you're going to pay the price, right? He said it's a bubble and speculation. But now they're going to let their wealthy private clients have access to Bitcoin. So that's very interesting, and that could be a catalyst that's going to push the price even higher, right? Besides it being technically oversold. And really quickly, let's look at our oscillators. Of course, we talked about how we've been in this downtrend for basically the past couple months, despite the price of Bitcoin going up higher. So we had a bearish divergence, and that was one of the reasons why the price, we have seen the correction in the price over the last 2 weeks. And we talked about how I want to see this thing roll over and start to print light red candles and eventually flip bullish to green candles. We also want to see the oscillator break above this downtrend and continue higher, right? And push up and reverse the trend and continue higher. Because right now, seeing our oscillators and the RSI, right? RSI got very close to being oversold below 30, but it didn't close below yesterday because we have this epic bounce today. But still, we're still in a downtrend, right? Despite the price going up over the last few months. So we want to see a strong push up with our oscillators with the price rising, because that means that the buying momentum and the price direction is coming together, right? Because when the oscillators go down and the price goes up, that means that the buying momentum is starting to wane, and you want to be careful because the bears can come out and short attack and push the price lower, right? If there's not enough buying conviction to keep the price from falling down, which is what we saw over the last few weeks with this 27% correction, right? But now we're starting to see some buyers coming in, and we saw these wicks over here. Could be buyers coming in and stepping in to keep the price from coming down lower. as we approach this Fibonacci support level. Another thing to look at is the fear and greed index. We're basically at lows that we haven't seen since last March, April, right? So this could actually be a good thing, because usually you want to buy fear, right, and you want to sell greed. That's the famous saying made popular by Warren Buffett, right? Buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy. And right now we're at basically year low. We're at 52-week lows for the fear and greed index. So that could be a positive sign that this could be the bottom, at least for this correction, right? Another thing we've been talking about is the price like a top indicator. How when this thing crosses, the price either becomes enters a correction like we did in April 2013, or it enters a bear market in December 2013 and December 2017, right? Now the interesting thing about this is that when this thing crosses, usually in a bull market, the green is above the orange line, right? And when it crosses and the orange line becomes above the green line, that's usually a bearish sign. But when the green line crosses back above the orange line, that's usually a good time to enter. Not all the time, because over here, obviously, the green line crossed above and we were still in the bear market, the price went down lower. But if you look here, when this green line crossed above this orange line back in 2013, in the middle of the year, the price actually went up a lot higher and we had another second cross. And if you look at the price like a top indicator cross, let's zoom in. We'll see. So this dotted line is where it crossed. So orange above green is bearish, right? Now look closely over here. We have a cross back, right? So we crossed here a couple weeks ago, and now we have the green line crossing back above the orange line, which is bullish. So that's very interesting. Just a couple days later, when we had a bearish cross, we now have a bullish cross. So could this be the end of this correction? Could this be a bullish sign to enter the market again? We're gonna have to see as the price develops going forward. Personally, I do think that the probability of us bottoming here is a lot higher than us going down lower, but which is why I bought over the weekend, right? Under 50,000 Bitcoin, if $50,000 Bitcoin. However, we might see, again, as I said in the beginning of this video, we might see this thing maybe pull back a little bit before we last time before we push up higher, because we are going to because we failed to hold this 50-day simple moving average line, the silver line. So this support level is going to be resistance now. So we could face some resistance coming up to around 57, 58,000. You might see this thing roll over and before trying to push up higher. Personally, I want to see this thing push up higher and then maybe come down retest. That to me would be the most bullish sign. But like I said, looking back at the previous price action over the last couple of weeks, when we had a bullish engulfing candle, we did roll over a little bit before pushing up higher, right? Like over here in late January and over here in late February, March, we rolled over after having a bullish engulfing candle before pushing up higher. And again over here in late February, rolled over a little bit before pushing up higher. So I do expect this thing to roll over a little bit before pushing up higher, and that could be another great opportunity if this thing comes down to just buy the dip, another opportunity to buy as the price comes down lower. Because I guarantee you right now, a lot of people are going to chase this pump, right? They're chasing this bullish engulfing candle, and they're probably going like leverage. And if this thing rolls over, a lot of people are gonna get wiped out. That futures liquidation to the downside could cause the price to come down pretty volatile, pretty violently. And for me, I'm setting a little bit more cash on the side just in case that happens. Especially I have some other altcoins that I want to buy, just in case that happens. I'll be ready to buy. Now, of course, again, this is not financial advice. This is entertainment. This is my own analysis, my own, just trying to be transparent, right? But don't copy my trades. Don't follow my trades, right? I might have a different risk profile, risk appetite, and strategy than you. So yeah, always do your own research, do your own due diligence, and make your own financial decisions, right? So overall, I'm very happy to see this amazing bullish engulfing candle, which is currently up over 10%, as you can see. And I think that if we can continue following through, that'd be great. And I think this could be a strong indication that this is the bottom of our correction, right? As I said in previous videos and previously today, this Fibonacci support level tends to hold as support level. And even though this is a very minute detail, we are technically having a higher high, right? Higher high over here. So if we can hold this Fibonacci level, this support, our midterm support level, as we enter or as we approach our short-term moving average around 57,000, I might there might be a pullback. Just keep that in mind, that we might see a rollover pullback before we push up higher. And definitely update you on Wednesday and see how the price action develops, if we end up pushing up higher, or if we might roll over a little bit. But overall, looking very bullish on Bitcoin right now, and I'm happy and optimistic to see how the price action will develop in the remainder of the year. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video useful, helpful, informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. Thanks again, and I appreciate your support. Have a great day.